Hey guys, I'm Roberto Rodriguez and I'm here on behalf of John Paul Mitchell Systems and Armstrong McCall. So I've been doing hair for about 10 years or so. May is actually going to mark my 10-year anniversary of doing hair and working with Paul Mitchell products, which is something that I'm very proud of, especially the color. When I first started out, I was using the color and the PM shines. That's basically all we really had at the time. But now, more recently, within the past year, we've graduated and we've come up with our Demi line, which is something that I absolutely love. I love the Demi for a few reasons. As with like PM shines, we had a much more like a translucent effect, or we would see a lot of those underlying pigments and underlying tones coming through whenever after we would rinse it out. With the Demi, it has a lot more of an opaque finish, so it's not going to be so much of like a super translucent. The tone's not going to be hollow. It's going to be much more closer to like a true Demi permanent color, something like Shines XG, maybe something along the lines a little bit more of like the color or the color XG, which is something that I really like because it's going to give you that really good like pigment that's going to just really stick to the hair shaft, and it's going to give you something closer to like a permanent result without the permanent like demand, and like you have to stick to it. You can't change it too much. It's a demi-permanent color, so it lives on the outside of the hair, which is something that I'm really happy about. And Leandra here, our beautiful model, she likes to change her hair pretty much as often as she likes to change her boyfriends. So we don't want to give her something that she has to absolutely commit to because she's young, she's a millennial, she doesn't want to commit to anything, okay? So one way that we do that is by using a demi-permanent color. So we're going to go in there and we're going to apply a couple of different things to her hair. We're going to go in and basically once I get in there, I'm going to really explain everything that we're doing. And I'm going to go in and explain all the formulation and everything that we're doing. We're utilizing just the Demi. I did go in beforehand, gave her a little bit of pre-treatment, did a color balance in there just to get rid of some of that old color that she had in there, because we don't want any leftover dye molecules that are going to start processing once we actually get in there and apply our color. So I'm going to just pause the camera real quick. I'm going to zoom in and then we're going to get started. Putting on our gloves, of course, because we want to be neat, we want to be clean, you know? We don't want to get everything all dirty. We don't want to be going home with looking like mechanics, you know, after applying color with all these greasy hands. So we got our gloves on. So what I'm going to go in and actually do is that I'm taking slices almost in a very bricklaying type of pattern. So we diffuse any type of pattern. It's going to give her like a very natural result. So one of the things that she told me when she came in was that she wanted something that was going to be a little bit more natural, kind of like earthy tones, you know, but keep it on the darker side, but not too light. So I went in and I formulated 4 different formulas using the Demi. One of the formulas was a 9BB with the clear, which we mixed that of 1.5 ounces of the 9BB to 1/2 ounce of the clear. Okay, and there really isn't a real way to mix the clear into the formula. You can really just kind of let your creativity just kind of expand, you know, do whatever you want to do with that clear. Unlike PM Shines, where you had a ratio where you really had to be precise on how you were mixing it to achieve the results that you wanted, with the Demi you really have the freedom to do whatever you want to do, which is really cool. So that's why I mixed it like that. That was a formula that we're going to apply mostly through the ends. Now her base formula, which is kind of more like a shadow root, we just went in with our 5N. Just straight 5N, applied it at the root. I did go in and basically, like I said, do it more of like a brick lay pattern, diagonal sectioning. One of the reasons that I did do that is because, like I said, I wanted to diffuse any lines of demarcation. As we know, diagonal lines break vertical and horizontal lines, okay? And then our third formula was our 3N, we basically just overlaid that over here on the side. I know it's a little hard to tell, but she had this shaved side, so it's a lot closer. And she wanted it to be a little bit different. She wanted it to be darker on that side, so that's why we went in and did that. And then over here, we did basically a little platinum card technique. So we did foil to foil to foil, back to back, and we just overlaid that with our 9BB and clear. Just basically to get rid of any warmth, any yellowness, just a real pale neutral tone is what we wanted to achieve. But I also spiced things up a little bit by adding a little bit of 6BR. And the reason I did that is just because I wanted to see a little bit different. I didn't want to see everything just kind of blend together and get lost in there. I wanted to see a little pop of something. So that's why I went in with the 6BR. Just strategically placed it in random places, just to really get a really different result. Instead of doing just all cool tones, all natural tones, let's just add a little spice in there, okay? So we're gonna go in and get started. So I'm starting at the peak of this corner. I basically took a triangular section up near off the crown of the head, and I'm taking it from a point to a wider section, okay? And basically what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be touching up the roots with our 5N formula, applying it just like that. And one of the benefits of the Demi is that it does have a neutral pH. So it's basically the equivalent of water. Like we can drink this stuff if we really wanted to, but we're not going to do that because it probably wouldn't be safe. But it does have the same pH as water, so it's very neutral. When it sits on the hair, it's not going to put it into an alkaline state. The natural pH of our hair is about 5.5. So what this is actually going to do is just be a little slightly more alkaline than what hair naturally is, but it's not changing it at all. It's going to allow the color to just live on the cuticle of the hair, and in turn, it's basically like adding a conditioner to the hair. You know, whenever we take a shower, our hair feels soft, it feels clean, it feels much more conditioned, and part of that is because it's not alkaline. So much like water, the Demi is not alkaline either. It's just neutral. So you're gonna feel whenever I start running this color into the hair, I feel like you're gonna start feeling those conditioning properties that it has, you know? And something that's amazing about it is due to the fact that it isn't alkaline, I am going to be able to basically do anything that I really want to the hair, whether it be a like a permanent process, or let's say we did some real severe lightening and her hair's been kind of compromised. Well, one of the benefits is that due to the fact that it is neutral and it doesn't raise the cuticle at all, we will be able to go in and apply this color scalp to ends and not negatively affect the hair in any way, which I find to be pretty awesome. So again, I'm going with the 5N right at the root, and then I'm doing this 9BB with clear running through the ends. And I'm just kind of running that through like so, kind of melting it a little bit right there, so we kind of get rid of, just kind of diffuse everything just a little bit more than we already are, okay? So I did two sections that kind of overlap each other like so, the 5N and then 9BB with clear through the ends. Now our next section, I'm going to go in on the opposite section, taking the same pattern that I just did, thinner on the corner, a little bit thicker through here. Again, we're still going in with our 5N because that's our base tone. Running that through, doing a little bit of vertical brush technique. Taking the 9BB with the clear, applying it through the ends. So she had like a very I wouldn't say neutral. She had kind of like a little bit of a warm level 7, level 8 undertone after we did that color balance, which I didn't want to get rid of that completely. So instead of going in right at a level 8, I went in at a level 9. I bumped it up a level. So that way, when I go in there and apply this color over it, I'm kind of just getting rid of the unwanted tones that I want, but I still want to see just a little bit of that warmth still come through, because I'm not toning directly on target. So her natural, the level that we ended up with was about a 7, 8. So I go on with a 9 and just get rid of what I didn't want. And I'm just applying that mid shaft to ends, like so, and just laying it down gently, because we don't want those colors to blend together and do a whole lot of, we don't want any ugly pieces in there. Okay, so let's stick to working really clean. So now I'm going in again with that 5N right at the root. And we're going to change it up a little bit. Now I'm going to take that 60R and apply it on the shaft. And again, just run that through all the way to the ends. Okay? Now the Demite is mixed equal parts, so if we do 2 ounces of color, we're going to do 2 ounces of developer. We don't need to change that to 1 to 0.5 or anything like that. Let's just keep it the way it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be mixed equal parts, so that's exactly what we're going to do. And the last and final section up top, I'm going to touch that right at the root. And I'm actually going to run this tone all the way through. And due to the fact that she does have a little bit of different tones in there, she's got a little bit of blonde, a little bit of like a level 8 and all that, it's going to take a little bit different. So there we go, we got that finished up. And I basically utilized that same technique all the way through her whole head. And that's how we got the results that we did. I'm going to pause the camera one more time just so we can zoom back out and see the final results.